Entrepreneur, CEO, NMP and ex-young PAP member. Mr. Kelvin Cheng's resume reads like a shopping list of success, but much has been talked about his membership in the PAP's youth wing. What made you apply to be an NMP in the first place?
Well, I think, to begin with, a group of friends asked me whether I would be interested for my name to be put up to the select committee. And I said yes, because in the last 4 or 5 years, I've become more socially involved, being involved in the Red Cross, in a neighborhood school, being more socially aware and civic conscious. And this year, I was inducted into the World Economic Forum Young Global Leaders Forum, which allows me an international platform to get involved in civic activities, in things such as environmentalism, in education. And so because of this civic awakening, I felt that if I was given a chance to serve as an NMP, it would be something worthwhile to do. And so I agreed for my name to be put up, and I was chosen.
Tell us a bit more about what you did with the Red Cross and even in schools.
The school that I'm volunteering at on the School Advisory Council is Teluk Kurau Secondary, and I've been involved in going there and trying to inspire some of the kids. And it was very difficult for me at first because I came from a premier school. I came from the Chinese high school, and prior to Teluk Kurau, I've never set foot in a neighborhood school. And it was only then that I realized the disparity in resources. And again, that awakened my civic consciousness again, as I thought that this big disparity has to be somehow bridged, that this neighborhood school students deserves an equal chance in life, or at least not to be hindered by economic resources to be able to achieve their full potential.
Okay, a bit has been said about how you were in young PAP, but you were not an active member. Why weren't you an active member? Because I would think that the young PAP would give you avenues into these various things.
For those precise reasons that I told you, at the same time when I was exploring how to contribute back to society, I explored many things, of which joining the young PAP was something that I was considering. But at the same time, I got involved in all of these other things, and for no particularly strong reason, I got very, very involved in these other things, Red Cross, Teluk Kurau, so on and so forth. And because of that, I never followed up with the young PAP, so I was never active in it.
You talked broadly about changing the Singaporean mindset and the Singaporean culture identity, but is there any specifics that you would like to raise in that sense, like something that you can be done quite immediately?
I don't think that's how Parliament works, you know. At the end of the day, there's an agenda. You more or less have to speak according to the agenda, to the bills that are being passed. Of course, you can file a motion, but then that has to be something that's very, very serious, because it takes up a lot of time in Parliament. So if I ever were to file a motion, it would be after very, very serious thought and consultation with more experienced members of Parliament, with the ministers, to make sure that we're not taking up Parliament's time for something that could be seen as frivolous. So it has to be very, very important, because it's a very somber thing.
Okay, maybe just let me rephrase that. Maybe not something urgent that you want to do, but things that is sort of happening now with, like, let's say, housing, public transport, anything that where you see yourself being able to contribute by giving your point of view.
If anything comes out, especially from MICA, from the Ministry of Information, Communications and the Arts, it would be something that I would be passionate about, something I am familiar with.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe just lastly, just to sum this all up, what do you hope to do in your term as an NMP?
Well, I hope to be able to voice concerns in Parliament regarding those non-partisan issues I talked about, culture, and even in environmentalism, which is something that I'm getting more and more aware of, the importance of how climate change is affecting our planet. So I hope to be able to be a voice for these issues in Parliament, and I hope to be able to contribute my experience as well.
Sorry, just one more question. We've seen, because now you sort of become a public figure, we also talk about the sacrifices you have to make. Let's just use Mr. Siu Kam Hong as an example. I mean, his strong views were, of course, met with some opposition, and there were a lot of... he got a lot of criticism for that. Are you prepared to take this kind of criticism from the public, be it online or in like the Straits Times forum?
Yes, if what I believe in is something that I'm passionate about, and which I believe is very important for the development of Singapore, for our society, then I will stand by my beliefs, and if I have to take flag, I will take flag.
Well, it sounds like he's definitely ready for the job. Up next, we speak to another NMP in the media industry, Miss Audrey Wong.